morning! It's Saturday, AA Day. I'll wait a couple of minutes and let people come in so I know that you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Hey twin. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome. It's a good morning. Even though I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning, it's still a good morning because I'm still sober. But if you're new here, you're welcome here. We try to not have judgment in the chat. Don't harass anyone that's in the chats because they may not be the one suffering. They might be here as support to me and my channel, or here to help a friend or family member that they know needs help. Sometimes you can get stuff out of listening in to an AA meeting, even if you're not the one suffering from alcoholism like me. But it's a way to get sober and have the tools to live a daily sober life. It works. If I didn't believe it works, I would not still be sitting here. So, but like I said, don't pass judgment in the comments and be kind to everybody in there. If you're chatting, please. I have going across the bottom as well as my name there, as this is an AA meeting, so just be nice to people here. That's all I ask. And if you don't want to be in the chat, just hit the like button and subscribe. I do 2 meetings, well, for right now until not next week, but the week after I start work, so I will be changing those days. I might only be doing 1 meeting a week because I will be working on the normal days that I have scheduled, but I will figure that out when that gets here. So, of course, Copper's here. He wants to bug me. I'm live. He thinks he needs to bug me. Anyways, let's say the Serenity Prayer and get the meeting going. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I'm Sandra, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to do the 12 steps and 12 traditions, and then get into tradition 12. Alright. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continue to take personal inventory and when wrong, promptly admit it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him. praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. And on to the traditions. 1. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on AA unity. 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as He may express Himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. 3. The only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. 4. Each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to the alcoholics who still suffers. 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprises, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9. AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relation policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. And I do put in the description, it'll say more under there, should anyways. I always put in there what book we're reading, and the page, the story, tradition, step. I put that there so that way you can follow along if you have your books. If not, then I'm going to read it anyways, and just listening does actually help. I had to call someone please in just a minute, guys, on Facebook, and I'll be right back. I had to call my husband because him and my oldest went woodcutting this morning, and I worry about them being out there doing those things. But he just wanted to know if I'd move the car. But I'm live, so he gets to get out and move the car. Thank you, Ava. Yeah, I was still muted. I realized that. I was like, wait a second, I forgot to unmute. Okay, so we're on tradition 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. The spiritual substance of anonymity is sacrifice. Because AA's 12 tradition repeatedly asks us to give up personal desires for the common good. We realize that the sacrificial spirit, well symbolized by anonymity, is the foundation of them all. It is AA's true willingness to make these sacrifices that gives people their high confidence in our future. But in the beginning, anonymity was not born of confidence. It was the child of our fears. Our first nameless group of alcoholics were secret societies. No prospects could find us only through a few trusted friends. The bare hint of publicity, even for our work, shocked us. Though ex-drinkers, we still thought we had to hide from public distrust and contempt. When the Big Book appeared in 1939, we called it Alcoholics Anonymous. Its foreword made this revealing statement: it is important that we remain anonymous because we are too few at present to handle the overwhelming number of personal appeals which may result from this publication. Being mostly business or professional folk, we could not well carry on our occupations in such an event. Between these lines, it is easy to read our fear that large number of incoming people might break our anonymity wide open. As the AA group multiplied, so did anonymity problems. Enthusiastic over the spectacular recovery of a brother alcoholic, we sometimes discuss those intimate and harrowing aspects of his case meant for his sponsor's ears alone. The aggrieved victim would then rightly declare that his distrust had been broken. When such stories got into circulation outside of AA, the loss of confidence in our anonymity promise was severe. It frequently turned people from us. Clearly, every AA member's name and story, too, had to be confidential if he wished. This was our first lesson in the practical application of anonymity. With characteristics in temperance, however, some of our newcomers cared not at all for secrecy. They wanted to shout AA from the housetops, and did. Alcoholics, barely dry, rushed about bright-eyed, button-holding anyone who would listen to their story. Others hurried to place themselves before microphones and cameras. Sometimes they got distressingly drunk and let their group down with a bang. They had changed from AA members into AA show-offs. This phenomenon of contrast really set up thinking squarely before us was the question, how anonymous should an AA member be? Our growth, our growth made it plain that we couldn't be a secret society, but it was equally plain that we couldn't be a vaudeville circuit either. The charting of a safe path between these extremes to a long time. As a rule, the average newcomer wanted his family to know immediately what he was trying to do. He also wanted to tell others who had tried to help him, his doctor and his minister and close friends. As he gained confidence, he felt it right to explain his new way of life to his employer and business associates. When opportunities to be helpful came along, he found he could talk easily about AA to almost anyone. These quiet disclosures helped him to lose his fear of the alcoholic stigma and spread the news of AA's existence in his community. Many a new men and women came to AA because of such conversations. Though not in the strict letter of anonymity, such communications were well within its spirit. But it became apparent that the word of mouth method was too limited. Our work as such needed to be publicized. The AA groups would have to reach quickly as many despairing alcoholics as they could. Consequently, many groups began to hold meetings which were open to interested friends and the public, so that the average citizen could see for himself just what AA was all about. The response of these meetings was warmly sympathetic. Soon, groups began to receive requests for AA speakers to appear before civic organizations, church groups, and medical societies, provided anonymity was maintained on these platforms and reporters present were cautioned about the use of names or pictures. The result was fine. Then came our first few excursions into major publicity, which were breathtaking. Cleveland's Plain Dealer articles about us ran that town's membership from a few into hundreds overnight. The news stories of Mr. Rockefeller's dinner for Alcoholics Anonymous helped double our total membership in a year's time. Jack Alexander's famous Saturday Evening Post, Pierce made a national institution. Such tributes of these brought opportunities for still more recognition. Other newspapers and magazines wanted AA stories. Film companies wanted to photograph us. Radio and finally television designed us with requests for appearance. What should we do? As this tide offering top public approval swept in, we realized that it could do us incalculable good or great harm. Everything would depend upon how it was channeled. We simply couldn't afford to take the chance of letting self-appointed members present themselves as messiah representing AA before the whole public. The promoter instinct in us might be our undoing. If even one publicly got drunk or was lured into using AA's name for his own purpose, the damage might be irreparable. At this altitude, press, radio, films, and television anonymity, 100% anonymity, was the only possible answer. Here, principles would have to come before personality, without exception. These experiences taught us that anonymity is real humility at work. It is an all-pervading spiritual quality which anonymity we try to give up our natural desires for personal distinction as AA members, both among fellow alcoholics and before the general public. As we lay aside these very human aspirations, we believe that each of us takes part in the weaving of a protective mantle which covers our whole society and under which we may grow and work in unity. We are sure that humility expressed by anonymity is the greatest safeguard that Alcoholics Anonymous can ever have. And that is the end of Tradition 12. I read some of it before I started the live today. I used a pen from my mom. I'm like, I need a pen. But it's only the second paragraph in the beginning. But in the beginning, anonymity was not born of confidence. It was the child of our early fears. Our first nameless groups of alcoholics were secret societies. New prospects could find us only through a few trusted friends. The bare hint of publicity, even for our work, shocked us. So, ex-drinkers, we still thought we had to hide from public distrust and contempt. Yes. Sometimes I find it hard for me to be open with people that don't see me here. Um, but I still tell people that I'm a recovering alcoholic. I will be a recovering alcoholic for the rest of my life. My battery's low, and I forgot my cord. I forgot my charger. Whoops! So I don't know how long I have. But I don't have a problem telling people, hey, I'm a recovering alcoholic, because that's the truth. That's what I am. I'm not trying to hide that. In the beginning, I would. And then my sponsor got me to do one speaker meeting, and I spoke for 10 minutes, and I was like, I can actually go far with helping others to be sober. And that's why I decided to do it here for my friends and family members that are far away or near that can't make it to a meeting. That's the sole reason. Because I do have friends and family that suffer these same things. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to put a pin on somebody because that's not for me to do. I learned that when I first started AA to not do that because it really did upset people. And so that's why I've always said when I started doing my live AA meetings, please don't comment if you don't want them to know. That was before everything changed with YouTube and StreamYard and Facebook and everything. So you can't see those now, which is good because then I don't have to keep saying don't comment in the comments of a live stream because I don't want you to get like I don't want somebody to get your information unless if that wasn't okay with you. And I've always said that, and that's how I started my meetings, which I think I'm going on my second year of meetings, or maybe I just made it through my first year of meetings here live. And I'm very grateful for everybody that comes to these meetings and make sure that they say in their meeting, in their live streams when they do theirs, you are helping others. It makes me know that I am reaching people. So, and that's my goal with my meetings. It's not for my personal gain. It is solely to help the other ones that need the help. And yeah, it works. I can tell you that because it works, and I work every single day. Make sure you do your steps. Make sure you do your traditions every day. You'll get the hang of it, and it just comes naturally. Like you get frustrated with somebody, and you'll be like, "Oh no, now I have to pray for that person." But really, it's praying for you to let it go. Don't dwell. Just let it go. You can't change it. You can only go forward. And yeah. But I better get off of here before my computer completely crashes. And no daily reflection today. I'm sorry, but I love you guys, and thank you for always coming, and thank you for being a support. And just know that you're not alone. There's lots of us that are having these issues. So find a meeting, tell a friend, tell a stranger. Somebody will listen, and it'll help you. Believe me, I know it helps me, just like helping all of you. I love you guys, and I'll see you on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's probably going to be my last Tuesday AA meeting. So I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Love you guys.